Do it. Let's go live. What's going on, guys? Let me know if you guys can hear me, okay? Just want to welcome everybody into the chat room of the live stream, Wednesday night live stream. I think this is the best day for me, so I'm going to try to do Wednesday. I've been trying to do Wednesday for the past 2 weeks. We're trying to get Wednesday all good. Max Verlade says, I don't know if you can hear me. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat room, okay? Got Tallahassee in the house. What's up, Tallahassee? Alan Compton, what's going on? Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Let me know in the chat room if you guys can hear. And then get started with my little presentation. And then hopefully we can do the Zoom call-in part. So again, today, Wednesday night live stream. I think Wednesday works best for me. But if you guys have any suggestions, I tried Sunday live stream, but that one wasn't too big. And today's topic, we're talking about why people quit at blue belt. So this one's a good one, good topic. I think it's a very common topic that happens to everybody. I've seen it at every academy, at every level of school, like competition schools, self-defense schools. Every school, they got a lot of blue belts quitting. We're going to get into it. Alan Compton says, sound is good. Awesome. Sound is good. That's perfect. So I had a few messages earlier. I'll kind of get to them before I hit my presentation. So we had Haunted. He says, please touch on tips for the transition from blue to purple. Is it important to acquire more skills, or is it more important to focus and branch off what you're already good at? Or are they 50-50, equally as important? So blue to purple, you should have been acquiring skills, from blue to purple, a lot of skills. Usually, you typically don't have a game at blue belt, right? You just kind of try a lot of different things. You tried some warm guard, you tried some lapel guard, some K guard, or matrix guard. So I feel that blue belt, you should be experimenting, your wild phase, get through that wild phase. And then you start solidifying your personal style at purple belt. Yeah, I would just say keep acquiring skills, as a blue belt. Try different guards, try different passing styles. And then as you become a purple belt, you should start cutting away the stuff that wasn't really working too well. I remember when I was blue belt, I played a lot of turtle guard, Eduardo Teles style, that kind of style at blue belt. And then by the time I got the purple belt, I was like, all right, that stuff wasn't working too well in competition. So, and then we had Max Verlade. He said, as a 4-stripe blue belt, I feel like one reason people quit at blue belt is because the pressure of being a blue belt. When you're getting tapped by everyone above or at your belt level and white belts, you got a 4-stripe blue belt. Hopefully you're not getting tapped by too many white belts. But yeah, blue belt it's like the redheaded stepchild of jiu-jitsu. It's just like you got no respect. White belts don't respect you, higher belts don't respect you, and you just kind of, you get treated pretty badly. And that is one of the downsides to being a blue belt, and why people do end up quitting. Slackjaw, he said, even though I'm a white belt, my opinion is that because it's a pretty good achievement and they can't imagine themselves, I guess, competing at black belt. Yeah, blue belt, at blue belt, you kind of realize that, man, black belt's really far away. Brown belt's even worse. When you're brown belt, you're like, man, black belt's still far away. So blue belt, you're like, well, that's like Mount Everest. So we got a few people in the chat room. Just want to say thank you guys for joining me. I think this time period is probably the best for most people, for me especially. And so I'm going to get into my presentation on why people quit a blue belt, and then I'm going to open up the Zoom live chat, live talk. So I'm going to add the Zoom link now, and I want you guys to get your Zoom ready for when I start having you guys on, okay? So let me grab that link real fast. It's... Let's see. So if you guys are interested in talking more about why blue belts quit, go ahead and get your Zoom ready, and we'll have you in the waiting room, and I'll get into my presentation. I don't have too much time today, so I'm going to kind of zoom through that thing. So let's see here. Let me know if you guys can see that little square at the bottom. I know there's a little lag with the live stream, but it should be working. I'm not seeing anything. Let me know in the chat room if you guys see the presentation. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. That should be going live. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything popping up yet. Let me know if you guys see anything. Yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and get your Zoom ready, I'll have you guys pretty soon. Let's see. I'm trying to get my presentation up. I thought I had this figured out by now. There we go. I've got it. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So again, guys, welcome to the live stream. We're going to be going over why people quit a blue belt. And I just made a simple, very simple PowerPoint presentation. We're just going to go through some of the main reasons I've seen on why people quit a blue belt. We have a, I guess you guys see the link. We have Ed. He says, "I just got my blue belt last month and still going every day, thankfully." Yeah, keep on keeping on. Be mindful of your motivation, especially when I don't know where you are in the world, but in America, in Europe, it's winter time, so like now is the time when people become less motivated. Also, be careful of getting injured. When you're going every day, more chances you get sustaining an injury. So yeah, be mindful of your recovery. If you get injured or feel yourself getting sore or unmotivated, tackle that head on. 2K Ross says lurking but listening. All right, man, we'll take you. And so today we're talking about why people quit a blue belt. All right. Let me get my. Boom. Why people quit a blue belt. There's a ton of reasons. I think I have about 15 reasons, and some of them kind of sound the same, kind of similar logic, but still valid, right? Let's see if I see guys. So I had a little video. I don't know if you guys see my video. I did a video on this topic. Man, maybe 2017. No, 2017. And let's see if the audio will play a little bit. You see the different hairstyle, right? Back then. Let me know if you guys can hear the audio. No audio. Let's see. No audio. I'll just skip it. It was kind of cool, but no audio. Let me go ahead and skip that point. So at blue belt, one of the big issues is that, the training is long. It's a long training. Go to white to blue belt, a long process, right? It's not easy. In fact, back in the day, we used to say that a BJJ blue belt was like a black belt in traditional martial arts. And so, that's a long process. And then, people get tired of that grind. It is a grind. When you're a white belt, you're getting your butt kicked. Get your blue belt, still getting your butt kicked. So it is pretty rough. And then I have a little graphic from bjjsurveys.com. And it's I have a bigger version of that, but just to kind of show you that the average year's training by belt. I think it comes up now. It'll come back up later. Let's see. But you can just see that every belt level is it's not exponential, but it's pretty up there where you're putting so many years per belt. To get to white to blue, typically 1 year almost. And next, BJJ is taxing on the body. It beats your body up. Injuries, fingers, neck, cervical vertebrae, ears, cauliflower. Some people break their nose, chip their teeth, elbows, shoulders, knees, lower back, your feet, your ankles. We do a sport where people they're trying to jack up your joints, So it's very taxing. You're going to take damage. You're probably going to have arthritis. You probably already have arthritis. So yeah, it's pretty rough. So some people, they weighed that option. They weighed the options of training versus injuries, the wear and tear on their body. Boom, some old guys, some masters guys. I'm in masters as well, so I can make fun of the old guys as well. My friends right here. Yeah, hard on your body, right? I'm short on time today, guys, so I'm zooming through the presentation so I can get you guys on the Zoom as fast as I can. And just keep your Zoom open. Just stay in that waiting room. If you were going to add yourself, just stay in the waiting room, and then in maybe approximately 15-20 minutes, I'll start doing the Zoom chat, the Zoom talk. Let me see if you guys can see that. And so, reaching your blue belt, typically you have enough knowledge and skill to defend yourself against an untrained opponent. So some people are happy with that. They can handle themselves against most regular people out there, right? And some people, they get to that point and then they decide, okay, it's not worth going farther in training, which is okay. I understand that. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Whoop. There we go. Let's see. Submitted Christ says 45 years old. 45 years old and got my blue belt in 4.5 months. Wow, that's super fast. Congrats. Training 3 days a week. Man, that's what kind of gym you training at, man? That's insane. No previous grappling experience. Grappling out or fighting experience. Don't feel like I deserved it. It does seem kind of rushed. If you said you got that in 4.5 months, but you train 3 times a day, okay, maybe. Also, 45 years old. I don't know you personally. Maybe you're a phenom. You're just really good at grappling. So I don't want to judge you off the top of my head, but I always say you trust your instructors. Hopefully, you have a good instructor. That if you have a good instructor, then trust their judgment. But if you're at a gym and they're like, okay, $5,000, $10,000, here's your new belt. Okay, maybe start questioning that. Yeah, Haunted said just joined. Did he answer any questions? Yes, I've answered some questions. If you missed it, go back to you got to rewatch the restream of this. Submitted to Christ says, also get snarky comments from other white belts that started before me. That does happen. If they want to blame someone, they blame themselves. They probably weren't training as hard or as diligent or as deliberate. So, man, if you don't get the belt, blame yourself, man. Sometimes it is your instructor's fault, but usually the results you get are because of yourself. Submitted to Crisis, don't think so. Man, I've been answering questions during my presentation, man. So, like I said, I don't have too much time today, so I'm kind of zooming through. If you have a question, remember we have the Zoom live talk. So go ahead and get your Zoom ready. There's a link pinned at the top, and then I'll start having people on in a little bit. Submit to Crisis. Sorry, I joined late. It's fine, man. No issues. I'm just short on time today, so I'm like kind of zooming through. But I do think I touched on one of your topics or one of your questions. Maybe you are Haunted. So yeah, we talked about reaching blue belt. You're pretty happy with your knowledge and skill that you've acquired. And here's a little video I saw. It was from the Gracie brothers. They had a blue belt. You can read the title. It says BJJ blue belt recovers stolen property in NYC street fight. And so you're gonna see a blue belt using his jiu-jitsu or wrestling against an untrained opponent. And the reason I know this guy is untrained is because they get into this altercation, and then the other guy he starts saying, "Wait a second, let me take my shirt off." So if you see someone doing that, man, attack them or run away. I always suggest running away, not getting in those situations to start with. If you've got any lawyers out there, please let us know. Again, guys, make sure you get your Zoom ready. I'll do the live call from Zoom in a little bit. So let's check this video out. There's probably not going to be any audio because I don't want to get that copyright from YouTube. But you'll just see in the first part he just does the movements that he uses to defend himself. Again, no audio. We can't afford that YouTube strike. So I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's see it again from here. So yeah, the guy gets an altercation, and then let me just go back to the beginning because he kind of does it earlier. Boom, kind of takes the guy out down in the middle of the road. A double leg takedown. I don't suggest you guys do that. Don't take down people in the middle of the road. Guys get hit by cars. Yeah, no amount of jiu-jitsu is going to help you when you get hit by a car. Don't pull guard on the car. Guys, like I said earlier, please get your Zoom ready. I'm going to have some, maybe 1 or 2 guests on. And that could be you. You just add your Zoom, links at the top. So that was, a little bit of self-defense on the street. I know you guys like that stuff. Another reason people quit a blue belt, they start having kids, got that full-time job, making that money, and then just slowly you lose time to make it to training. We got a guy here, he looks kind of fed up, looks busy, no time on his hands. He just missed that 6 p.m. Jiu-jitsu class, so now he's a little frustrated. Yeah, it's rough, man. I'm sure we got a lot of you guys out there. Got their family, wife nagging them, can't train. Wife's upset, girlfriend upset. Another big reason people quit a blue belt is because they lose interest. They lose their motivation. They're just like, ugh. We kind of touched on it earlier, but like you realize you're so far from black belt. You realize you're getting your butt kicked by purple belts and brown belts. Some tough white belts, giving you a run for your money. So, blue belt, you're just like, man, you're bottom of the barrel, man. White belts, we kind of treat white belts okay because, I got to take care of the white belts. And then at blue belt, we're like, man, we just don't listen to blue belts anymore. And so you're kind of like, you had that excitement from training. You still remember like when you were a white belt, how exciting you were, how exciting it was to train, and then maybe start getting bored. You're not having as much fun in training. That happens a lot. I think I'm not sure if it was this stream or last stream we talked about kind of cross training, doing other sports to kind of help yourself recuperate and just to stay motivated for jiu-jitsu. So it's very important, guys, especially now. Winter is coming. Winter is on the way. So be mindful of just your emotions, and you might feel like, oh man, I don't want to go and train, and it might be the weather that's affecting you. I know for me, I had to take vitamin D. That keeps me raring to go, especially during this time of year. Not enough sun. Paul Feeney says, it seems like life doesn't want you to train. Yes, Yes. Yeah, life is your biggest opponent. I mean, yourself is like, I would say yourself is probably your biggest opponent, and then like life. Life will try to keep you away from training, so you have to stay diligent, guys. Submitted to Christ says, yeah, blue belt is heavy. Love coming in as a carefree white belt. Yeah, white belts just like roses and la 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 la. You're just having fun. And the instructor's kind of nice, kind of holding your hand through everything. Blue belt, we're like, man, doing everything wrong, man. Yeah, I know I'm rough on blue belts. Just like, man, gotta pound you guys into shape. White belt, oh man, that was amazing. Oh, that was so good. You're doing great. Blue belt, what are you doing? Oh my god, you're messing up everything. Oh. Yeah, I'd be rough on blue belts too. Sometimes guys need kicking your pants, Sometimes guys kind of, you need a tough instructor. Sometimes we're too tough. It's better for us to like be too tough and kind of dial it back versus be too nice and then like, because once you start off too nice, it's hard to like get back to that authoritative point. In says been blue belt for 4 months. I know it's been a rough 4 months, buddy. Enjoy it. Enjoy that butt whipping. Again, guys, got the Zoom link at the top. We'll try to have a few of you guys. If you guys are interested, we'll try to have you on the Zoom and chat about maybe your experience at blue belt. I had one guy in there, but I guess he dipped out of there. We'll wait until we get some more people in there. Paul Phoenix says, that's why I don't want the promotion. Man, take it. Take it. And take your butt whoopings. Haunted says, live from Sydney. Has the Zoom started. Thank you, Haunted. I'll have you in a little bit. I don't know what time it is in Sydney, but I appreciate your time. Yeah, if any more people want to join the Zoom, we'll have you on the live chat. You'll be talking to me in front of, potentially hundreds or thousands of people. Not to make you nervous. I didn't mean to say that to make you nervous. Just forget I said that. So back to why people quit at blue belt. Time. Takes a lot of time to train. The shortest class is probably 1 hour. Longest class could be 3 hours. So that's a big chunk of your time, especially if you're working full time, going to school. You got a girlfriend, got a wife, you got kids. Man, you ain't got no time. So jiu-jitsu is just another blood sucker, time sucker right there on your neck. Just sucking all that time out of you. Money. Jiu-jitsu is expensive. You're not going to any school paying less than $100 in America. In Sweden, maybe $50, 500 krona. Some major cities you're paying $200, $250, $300. Yeah, expensive. That's just the train. That's not the gi. Your gi costs anywhere from $70 to $150. And if you're training multiple days, you're gonna need multiple gis. Just it costs a lot of money. You want to go compete? All right, that's $100. That's $100. Easy, $100 just to walk in that door. You want to watch flow grappling? Another $100. You want some acai? $20. You just, man, money's flying out your pocket. And then injuries. We talked a little bit about injuries, but you're getting your butt kicked through white belt. Good chance you got some injuries, maybe minor. Hopefully not major injuries, but you probably sustained some type of soreness, some type of cramping, some type of tearing, ripping, something by the time you got your blue belt, and then you're ready to retire. So, guys, be mindful of your injuries. In says, checking in from California. I can be on the Zoom. Yeah, man, we'd love to have you on the Zoom too. Just hang out in the waiting room, guys, and then I'll start to add you in a little bit. Submitted to Christ says, what do you make of guys who, after you roll with them, make comments that you use strength and athleticism, not technique? I am still new to this, so trying to figure it out. It is kind of a burn in jiu-jitsu. When someone goes, after you roll it, they go, "Man, you're so strong." What they're implying is that your strength is why you beat their butt, why you kicked their butt, not your technique. It was the strength. But sometimes if somebody's really strong, that is a compliment. If someone's like, "Man, your grip is strong," that means, bro, I couldn't break your grip. I don't know what you're doing, but it's working. If they say you're athletic, that's definitely a burn. Oh man, you just beat me because you're athletic. That is a burn. Um, in jiu-jitsu, we do traditional jiu-jitsu is more like methodical, slow pace, controlled, which is fine. That has its place. Um, but I feel like the more modern guys, man, they're embracing their attributes, your speed, your flexibility. Um, you know, always try to use as much technique as possible. That's level one. Always have a base layer of technique. But then, as your technique gets better, you build your attributes. If you're strong, okay, I have technique. Okay, now I'm going to add my strength to my technique. If you're athletic, okay, technique. Okay, now I add my athleticism to my technique. If you're flexible, technique, and then okay, now I use my flexibility. But always make your game technique driven. Always number one, because your attributes can disappear. You get injured, okay, you're not strong no more. You're not fast anymore. You're not agile anymore. But if you develop your technique well, man, you can always go back to that base level of technique. You can always rely on your technique. So we talked a lot about time. So time and the commitment it takes. It just takes a lot of time, commitment to sacrifice in order to get to that next belt. It takes a lot of sacrifice. When you get your blue belt, you're like, man, oh god, I made it. And then like purple belt is a big step. I was talking to one of the guys earlier. Blue belt, you're trying all this stuff. And in purple belt, you cut all the way kind of the stuff that wasn't working for your body type or just wasn't meant for you. Maybe stylistically or personality-wise wasn't working. So sometimes you just feel that, like, man, I put so much time and effort into this. I think I don't want to put any more time into this. If it takes you 1 year or longer to get your blue belt, and you decide, okay, that was too much time investment, then I completely understand. And so we're back to that average years of training by belt. I had that graphic up earlier, but this one's a little bit bigger. I think hopefully you guys can see it. It's not showing up as big as I want it to. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I'm not sure why that thing does not want to show up. Whoop. Yeah, see that? Hey, it came up. Let me know if you guys see the big. Okay. I'm figuring it out, guys. Figuring it out. Submitted to Christ says that makes sense. In says I've been taking a day or two off BJJ to do striking and judo. I feel burned out doing BJJ too much too often. Yeah. Listen to your body. You feel yourself not being as motivated. Instead of quitting, slow down a little bit. Try some other sports. Try some other hobbies. Go spend time with your girlfriend, your wife, your kids. Go watch a movie. Something. Mix it up a little bit. I think a lot of people, especially blue belt, white belts get addicted to jiu-jitsu. They get addicted to jiu-jitsu and they just go like 3, 4, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and that's cool and all. But then like you hit your blue belt and then like you're like I can't maintain this. So instead of trying to maintain that crazy schedule, slow down. Maybe go 3 days a week, 2 days a week. But just make sure you're coming in the gym. Make sure when you're in the gym you enjoy it. That's something that took me a long time to understand. It's got to be your happy place. When you go and train, you need to be happy, motivated to go in there. Unless you're getting ready for a tournament, then it's not going to be fun. You're not going to be going in there motivated and happy all the time. But if you're not in doing a tournament or anything, man, you should be super motivated to be in there, hang out with your friends, talk some stuff to your friends, and then be happy to train, drill, move around, put your gi on, put your rash guard, no gi on, whatever you do. Submitted to crisis. Dang, brown belt 4 years. You've been a brown belt for 4 years? Yeah. We talked a little bit about it earlier, but life gets in the way. At brown belt, life definitely gets in the way. Life be ready to punch you in the face of brown belt, saying, "Hey, you think you're ready for your black belt?" Let's see where I'm at. And just looking at this little graph here, it says white belt average years. So this is from bjjsurveys.com. If you guys want to check out this graph, average white belts training 1.65 years. So almost 2 years. You guys struggling out there. I was white belt for 1 year too. So average blue belt's been training for 3.6 years. So like 3.5 years at blue belt. That's insane. So no wonder people give up at blue belt. They're like, bro, I've been a blue belt for almost 4 years. I'm not getting that next belt. So yeah, it can be tough. Purple belts, about 6.32 years. You've been training for 6.32 years at purple belt. Brown belt, almost 8.5 years. And then your average black belt's been training about 12.5 years. So yeah. Other martial arts, 1 year you get your black belt. 2 years you get your black belt. Jiu-jitsu, 1 year you still a white belt. So sometimes you get demotivated. You're not as excited to go in there. You got to put your white belt on. Your cousin that does karate is already a black belt at 13 years old. So it can be rough. It can be rough. Budgetary concerns. We talked a little bit about jiu-jitsu being expensive, but as far as your budget, your training, if your training costs $150 a month, man, that's getting close to like a car payment, right? You could do a lot with $150 per month. Let me bring my calculator out and see how much that is per year. About a little bit over 1,500, right? 150 times 12. It's about $1,800. Yeah. What could you guys do with $1,800? Almost $2,000. That's a nice, decent amount of money, right? And that's just your training. You gotta take into account gear. I'm talking about jiu-jitsu gear, your rash guard, your spats, which cost like $50 each. Your shorts cost $50. Man, the gi costs $100, $200. If you got that Shoyoroll gi, that limited edition Shoyoroll gi, $200. And you're gonna have multiples of that stuff, right? Okay, a few $100 there. You do a few tournaments, another couple $100 there. Oh, you're gonna fly to California? You're gonna fly to Orlando? You're gonna fly to Texas? Bro, you spend at least $1,000. You get out there and register and live, eat. You're training hard. You train twice a day. You gotta eat so you can train twice a day. Okay, now you need some supplements. You need some vitamin D. You need fish oil. You need all this other stuff. Oh, you got injured? Okay, you need surgery. You need to see a PT therapist. You need to get a knee brace. So jiu-jitsu, that stuff starts adding up. Oh, you want to watch matches? Flow grappling. You pay money for that. So yeah, it's expensive. And if you live in California or New York, you're paying a lot of money to train. Paying over $200, $250, $300, $350. Some of these places. Oh, you want to take a private lesson? Okay. So I got a little graphic there for you guys. That little graphic right there. I knew I had to use this one in the video. I knew I had to use it for you guys. Oh, that's your money after you go and you sign up for jiu-jitsu. That's your money. I'm almost done, guys. Again, if you want to join the Zoom, we're gonna have the Zoom live chat. Let me mix this up a little bit. You guys can see me. Whee! I'm back. I'm back. And another reason people quit jiu-jitsu is that they only want to learn self-defense techniques. So most schools, I'm not sure now what they're doing now, but back in the day, to get your blue belt, we had to learn a lot of self-defense. How to defend headlocks standing on the ground, stuff like that. Some self-defense, rear bear hug, rear choke defense, stuff like that. How punch defense, kick defense. So I'm sure other schools do more self-defense. But typically at blue belt, you probably learn the whole curriculum, self-defense curriculum. I'm not saying you're a master of that, but you've been doing a lot of that training. And then some people are happy with that. They're like, hey, I just wanted to get my blue belt. I'm good. I can defend myself. I'm happy. I got a little girl, lady there punching. She just wanted to learn her self-defense to protect herself. And that's good, man. I realize jiu-jitsu is not for everybody. It's just not. But the self-defense aspect is important, especially for ladies out there. I think it's important. Maybe they don't want to train. They don't really want to train and roll, but just learning a little bit of self-defense. If you have sisters, nieces, daughters, wives, girlfriends, whatever you got, mothers. Everybody's got a mother, right? Teach them a little bit of self-defense. Even if they don't want to, do jiu-jitsu, but just a little bit of self-defense could really help them. Quan, what's up? I got my boy Quan in the group. Quan BJJ says injuries. People go harder on us blue boys. Yeah, especially if you're smaller and older. They're gonna go hard on you. Yeah, you take damage. We're almost through the presentation, guys, and we'll have the Zoom. I know you guys itching for that Zoom. Yeah. Other interests. Yeah. Say you've been doing jiu-jitsu for almost 2 years. Maybe you get your blue belt, maybe you're still a white belt, and then you decide, hey, I'm gonna try some other stuff. I want to try some other stuff. That's fine. Sometimes you find something that you like doing more than jiu-jitsu. It's your life. Go and do that. I don't want a student in my class that's like, oh, I don't want to be here. Like, man, that affects me. I'd much rather you go do something you love to do than be in my class or someone else's class not enjoying yourself. So it's okay, guys. It's okay. It's okay, guys, if you develop other interests. It's all right. Your instructor. Well, I don't know what your instructor is going to say, but I don't mind. And so other interests. I had the lady in the red dress from the Matrix, the first Matrix, and you know how the guys got distracted. They had other interests. This is a big one. This is a big one. And it says, you really can't train whenever you want. You have to adhere to the school's schedule, thus forcing you to, times that maybe don't work for you. So yeah, sometimes like the schedule's just off. Like, they only got a 7 a.m. class and you can't make 7 a.m. Or they only have a night class, 7 p.m. class. You can't make 7 p.m. You have to, you don't get off work till 6, and then you gotta pick up your kids, or you gotta take them to practice at 7. So it can be tough with the schedules. I feel like a lot of jiu-jitsu schedules are too cookie cutter. They kind of follow the same format. We got that 7 a.m. class, 6 p.m., 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. class. They got a noon class, and then they got kids at 5 p.m., beginners at 6 p.m., advanced at 7 p.m. It's the same schedule. So I would like to see academy owners kind of mixing up their schedule a little bit more, being a little bit more creative with that. Um, I know it can be tough, but yeah, just think about it. Maybe have some later classes for the guys that get off work late. Um, Maybe start kids classes a little bit later, or maybe have kids class alongside like a beginners class, so parents can train while their kids are training. Let's see. Submitted to Christ says, got to head out. Thanks for your thoughts. Sorry, man. We'll have you on some other time. Paul Phoenix says, I should consider myself lucky because I pay $60 a month. You got to be in Europe. Are you in Europe, Paul Phoenix? Because that's some European prices right there. America, you ain't walking in that door under $100. Under $120. Again, guys, if you have time, go ahead and click on the Zoom link. We'll have it so that you can chat with me about some of your challenges being a blue belt or going to blue belt or when you were a blue belt. I'm trying to get through my presentation so I can get you guys on here. And a little graph here says average training hours per week by belt, just to show you that at white belt you don't really have control of your schedule. If your average white belt's training 5 hours, almost 6 hours a week, that's about 3 classes a week. So you're not really, and you're not in control of the schedule really too much. Blue belt 6 hours a week, purple belt 7, brown 10, black belt 11. What I really gathered from this graph was that black belts train more, but typically because most black belts are academy, they're gonna own the academy, so they can make the schedule to suit themselves, right? That's their job, so they're at the academy, and so it's gonna better suit their schedule versus white and blue belt. You're pretty much stuck to whatever schedule they have, because we're not really taking your input usually. It's like, all right, I tell you this class is at 5 p.m. You don't have a choice. Either you go to that class or you don't go to that class. But as you get up in the ranks, you have more control over the schedule, and it's probably going to be better, going to fit your life better, so you can make it to more classes. Fade it. Almost done with the little presentation, guys. I didn't know it would be this long. Next one, BJ is hard to learn. It is hard. It is hard to learn. I talk to people every day about how frustrated they are and that they're not improving. They're forgetting the techniques. They feel like they're not progressing. They're getting their butt kicked. It's just tough, man. It's just no easy way. That's why most of the big schools, they have a system just to kind of streamline the process a little bit better. The process of making someone better at jiu-jitsu. But it's tough. If you don't have a system at your school and you're just left to your own devices, it's rough to kind of reinvent the wheel. So it is hard. We realize, most instructors realize how hard it is, so that's why we try to really take care of the white belts. But then blue belt, we're like, man, good luck, blue belt. You're doing everything wrong. So it can be kind of tough. I like this one. You got Travis Stevens, and it says, BJJ is overpriced judo nawaza. And so we talked about pricing earlier. Jiu-jitsu is expensive, but judo typically is run more like a club. So it's going to be a little bit easier on your wallet. Probably $60 a month, $70 a month, maybe less, maybe free. Some places, some countries, it's free. It's in the school systems. So that's one hurdle keeping people from doing jiu-jitsu. And then once you're doing jiu-jitsu, say you've been training your white belt for over a year, you get your blue belt. That 1 year, you spent $2,000 into your hobby. So unless you got money like that money could have been used for savings, could have been used for investment. I mean, jiu-jitsu is an investment in your health and wellness, mental wellness. But sometimes, say it's like, hey, man, do I want to eat today or do I want to go and train? So that can be a tough decision. KS says the cost. Yeah, the cost gets a lot of people. Paul Phoenix says rural Mississippi. I know that the Killer Bees out there. Jay, I think Jay's out in Mississippi. I've been to Mississippi a few times, but yeah, I'm surprised it's that low. But I understand. Sometimes you don't want to overprice yourself too much, especially in the rural cities. Again, guys, we're going to have the Zoom chat in a little bit. If you go ahead and look at that link that's pinned at the top. I've had a few people kind of leave out because I know it's kind of late, but I'm still working with the times. If you guys would like to see me start maybe a little bit earlier, I can see what I can do in the future. I would like to have some Australians on here. I think it's like the morning over there, or maybe it's the night over there. Get through my presentation real fast. Blue belt is the destination, so sometimes that was your goal. I want my blue belt, and that's it. That's all you cared about. You didn't care about black belt, brown belt, purple belt. You just wanted that blue belt, and that was your goal. So once you've achieved that goal, I mean, I understand that was your goal. You've been investing a lot of time and money into this. You can protect yourself against a regular person. You have the self-defense down. Man, I completely understand if you're like, man, I need to do something else. I just got my blue belt. I'm happy. My knees jacked up, elbows jacked up, my shoulders jacked up. I think it's time to call it quits. That's also valid. Next big one. This might be my last one. I gotta see. It says once you keep training to get to purple belt and beyond, you're training to know how to defend yourself against other trained opponents. So blue belt, hopefully, ideally, you can defend yourself against an untrained opponent. And then afterwards, once you get purple belt and above, you're training to beat other jiu-jitsu people, jiu-jitsu competitors. You start doing bolo, you start doing inverted guard, you start doing lapel guard, all of which probably is not useful not very useful in a self-defense situation. So, that might not be what you're into. So again, I understand. That's why some people quit at blue belt. They're like, man, I'm good. I can defend myself. I'm happy. Got my blue belt. I made it. Yeah, so that's another valid reason why people quit a blue belt. So guys, that was my presentation. Let me go ahead and keep this off of here. That was my presentation. Now I'm going to open up the Zoom line. I had a lot of people in there earlier. I think they dropped out. They were in Australia, so they had to get out of there. So if you guys want to do the live chat, go ahead and add the Zoom link at the top, and I'll try to get maybe one or two on here. Chat with you guys about your time at blue belt. Maybe you quit jiu-jitsu at blue belt. Maybe you're white belt and you're getting close to blue belt. So that's who I want on here. And then maybe I'll open it up to more generalized questions later. So Paul Phoenix says, Jay is my coach. Awesome. Tell Jay I said hello. saw him at Pans. He was fighting Felipe Andrew. Was that right? I believe it was Felipe Andrew. Let me go ahead and get this Zoom open. Hey, buddy, are you on here? So, guys, make sure you have your audio on. I don't know if my audio is working, so let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. Let's see. Same system. Let me see. Are you in here? Give me 1 second. Yeah, let me see if everybody in the chat can hear us. What's your name? Quan, what's going on, buddy? Yeah, man, let me see if the guys can hear us because I got my audio set up. But man, awesome, man. I'm happy you're on here, Quan. You doing okay? Oh, our return. That's good, man. Good. Woo! So no 6 a.m. class for you. I'm trying to see if they can. I'm trying to see if they can hear us. Yeah, I can't tell. They said they can hear. I guess I don't know. We'll see. It's okay if I record the audio. All right. Yeah, I've been live streaming. It's been going okay. It's just I think it's kind of cool to interact with people. Give me 1 second, Quan. Can you hear me, Quan? Let me see if I can change the monitoring. Quan, can you hear me? Where am I? I know you're there, Quan. I just doesn't want to let me. Quan, can you hear me? Let's see if they can hear now. I'll read some questions before we can move. Robert Mayer says joining late. Might have covered already, but I know every coach and gym are different. But when do you think a blue belt is ready for their stripe promotion / purple belt? Man, when you start, beating other blue belts and purple belts, when you go and compete at tournaments and you're placing at those tournaments, you're beating other blue belts at your level. So what about you, Quan? We did a little talk about getting your blue belt, right? What were some of the what were some of the reasons? Oh, sorry, go ahead. Uh, what do you think are some good some reasons people quit at blue belt? Mm-hmm. 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 Well, mm-hmm.
Then when you come back, it's hard to get in the same groove again. So now I try to train. I try to train like if I get 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like damn, I'm really consistent. but I at the very least I try to like find a way to make at least one class a week so that people don't think I'm one of those guys that just quit at blue belt, which we're talking about right now. So. Exactly.
What kept you motivated? What keeps you motivated?
A big part of it is definitely ego. It's like I don't want to be the guy that quit BJJ at blue belt. So I think a big part of that is that I have a lot of friends that are in jiu-jitsu, and I feel like I would be letting them down. So I feel like that's not even my own reasons. That's just like straight ego talking, and I'll admit it. That's part of it. That's keeping me going. Obviously, getting better and stuff. That's always. I do feel like you start figuring out, learning a lot of jiu-jitsu, and then you're not making as many huge leaps and jumps like forward in jiu-jitsu, I guess, as you were when you were a white belt. So it feels like you're pretty much. A lot of people, I think, they feel a little more stale, in jiu-jitsu, and maybe that kind of like, what is it? I guess prevents you or takes a little of the motivation away from training. Like a little bit being stale, not learning as much, even though you always are. But that's the thing with jiu-jitsu. I feel like there's so much to learn that it takes. As you train more and more, you just got to keep on training more and more until you make more. What is it? I guess where you figure something new out or something. I don't know. I was babbling on.
What were some of the injuries you were seeing with some of your blue belt buddies?
Back injuries, neck, stiff neck. Oh yeah, a lot of hand injuries, like fingers, like, my thumb's messed up, or my fingers are messed up. Obviously, a lot of knee stuff, I think. That's one thing with me. That's the one blue belt injury I got, was like a little knee injury. Like my knee popped out, and then I had to chill with that for about a month or two. But then I had this other thing that I needed surgery for, so it actually allowed me to heal my knee a little bit longer than I would have. So that was actually a blessing in disguise. So now I can just kind of train normally. But I do notice that, we'll be talking about after class. I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't gone in. Or they're like, oh yeah, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, yeah, it's first time this week or something. And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, I just got back from, I haven't trained in a while because I got injured. My fingers all messed up, or my knees messed up, my knee popped, my back is killing me. Can't. But I think that's the thing. You go in a little harder. People are not just trying to teach, not just in there rolling with you so that you can learn. They're rolling with you so that they can learn also, even if they're higher belt. So sometimes it'll make you strain more, especially if you're not training for technique, which I think you touched up on earlier. Like when you're rolling, you should just train and focus on using technique. And I think a lot of people, it's like the transition from being like a tough white belt to being a blue belt. Like you realize you can't really just be super tough and get through things just by being tough anymore. And that's actually something I learned. Like now when I go into training, I'm a little bit more relaxed. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on doing these techniques. And some guys like really, really tough. That's just what it is. I'm just gonna focus on making sure I do jiu-jitsu techniques instead of doing grappling, strength practice or something.
I think one of my memories of you, I think it was you were going with one of the guys. It was one of the big purple belt guys, and I think you went for guillotine. He went for guillotine or something, and like picked you up in the air. I think that was you, or maybe it was someone else.
I mean, that happened to me one time, and then my neck got like cranked real bad. But I'm not sure if that was when you were there. I remember it was an incident with a different instructor. And it was before. But yeah, I think that was when I was white belt.
It might have been the same guy. It was just the same guy did it to someone else, maybe.
Okay, maybe. I have heard that. I've heard that before from a person we won't say, but yeah, I think with blue belts, like I said, people are like higher level belts, including other blue belts, are trying to learn more jiu-jitsu when they're rolling against you. When you're a white belt, people are trying to roll with you and trying to get you to be better by letting you do things, by instructing you and helping you out with your technique, and
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, white belt, we just take care of them. Blue belt, we're just like using and abusing you guys.
Yeah, I mean, just to get better, but that's what the blue belts too. But I do notice, like, even as a blue belt, I try to go in there and focus on not being tough, and just focus on using technique, I guess. So
I mean, especially
that's
as
the
like a
difference.
masters athlete, like you got nothing to prove. Don't be out
Yeah,
there being tough, too tough.
yeah. I mean, that's not really how you get better technique wise. You get tougher though. There's a lot of tough white belts there that they give anybody a hard time because they're just like athletic, but I feel like they just get left behind technique wise.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
Quan, I'm gonna let you go, man.
All right, bro.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
so
calling.
much, buddy.
All right, peace.
Peace. Uh-oh, wrong tactic. All right, guys, got time for maybe one more. If anybody else wants to join the Zoom, links at the top, pinned at the top. And we're talking about why people quit at blue belt. If you want to share your story, or maybe you were a blue belt that quit, or maybe you're a white belt and you're like, bro, I'm about to quit. We'd love to have you on the show. Just click on the Zoom, and that's it, man. We'll have you on the show. So we did go through, a whole long, very long. I didn't know the presentation would be that long, but lost a lot of people. Had like the Zoom chat or the Zoom group was pretty big, and then like I just kept talking and talking and talking. So lesson learned: don't talk too much. But we'll try to get one more person, guys. Try to get one more person on the Zoom. Just go ahead and click the link at the top. We'll have you on the Zoom with me. But yeah, Quan, my buddy Quan, touched on a really important topic. Typically white belt, especially higher belts, we're trying to keep you training, keep you in the gym so you don't quit. And then that blue belt, we're just like, we figure you know enough jiu-jitsu and that we can just, go hard on you and you're going to stay. So that could be another reason why people at blue belt want to quit, because, people aren't trying to make you better. White belt, they're trying to help you all the time. Blue belt, they're like, screw you. I'm trying to be the best. So if you guys want to join the Zoom, I had time for one more. Hopefully, it's getting late over here, so one more. Anybody wants to join me in talking about why people quit a blue belt? Yeah, I had a lot of people on here. They dipped. So I'll keep in mind with the next live stream. If you guys would like to see more technique focused videos, I think that would be kind of cool to mix it up. I've been doing more like kind of like the stuff outside of technique, like more like just almost how to cope with jiu-jitsu, not so much like how to be better at jiu-jitsu. So if you guys like to see that, let me know in the chat room. Otherwise, I'm going to try to get one more person on. If you guys are interested in doing the Zoom chat with me, I'm going to try to get one more person on here, so just click the link above. I had a ton of people earlier. I just was talking too much. So I'll probably wait maybe 5 more minutes and then try to get one more person, guys. If you guys are super interested in this topic, is near and dear to your heart, go ahead and add me on the Zoom. Go ahead and click on that Zoom link there. And I'm going to bring up the slideshow one more time, just to kind of have it as a background. I don't think you guys saw that. It's too big. So yeah, we've just been talking about why people quit a blue belt. Like I said earlier, if you find something you're more passionate about, or jiu-jitsu gets in the way of your life, your relationships with your family, it's okay to step back, guys. Take a step back. It's okay to scale your training down a little bit. It's okay to try something else, or cross train or add some other sport. Um, it I feel like a lot of students can be afraid of what their instructor is going to think. So yeah, do what's best for you guys. Try to communicate openly with your instructors if you're feeling like kind of demotivated or unmotivated, or you feel like you want to quit. Talk to your instructor first. Maybe there's something they can do. Maybe they can adjust the schedule. Maybe they can give you some more attention. Maybe they can give you some advice. Yeah, but I think that's it, guys. It's kind of late on my end, so I think I'm gonna call it quits now. Let's see. Chris the Beard says, "Got my 3 boys going 3 days a week and wrestling in Fridays. They love it." Yeah, that's awesome. Especially with kids, you gotta be careful not to burn them out. Maybe you love jiu-jitsu, you want them to be there all the time, but then they're like, "I hate this. I want to play football." Um, so keep them motivated. I almost think it's better to do less when they're younger. Until they decide they really want to do jiu-jitsu at like teenage years. But they're under teenage years, I would scale it back to where it's like they're super pumped to go train. They're like, "Man, we get to train jiu-jitsu today." Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way to keep them into jiu-jitsu. 'Cause kids burn out easy, 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 easy. Yeah, I think Zoom's pretty chill now. 2K Ross says, "Thanks again for the info." Yeah, man. I'll try to have more people on. I was super excited to get through my presentation, but I had a ton of people. So maybe for the next live stream, I'll kind of cut the presentation a little bit shorter and get more people on the live Zoom chat next time. But I think I'll stay at this Wednesday time slot, and I'll play around. So Wednesday, I'll play around a little bit with the time slot. If you guys like to see earlier, maybe earlier will work better. We had some people from Australia. They're like, "Man, I gotta go to sleep." But I would love to get some of the international crowd into this live stream. That would be amazing. So if you guys have any suggestions for times, let me know in the chat room. Paul Phoenix says, "I start watching Alec because of the great wrestling vids." I think you had something earlier. Let me see. Yeah, that was like my first big video that kind of blew up on YouTube, was how to do like a wrestling shot. Magnification says, "What is the typical time frame for a 2-day-a-week Gracie BJJ practitioner to move through the 4-stripe basic white to the next color?" Yeah, I'm not sure what the Gracies, what they do with their time frame. Training twice a week. 2 times a week is not a lot. That's probably going to put you at, from my estimation, it's going to put you at 2 to 3 years at white belt, training twice a week. I think maybe 3 times a week will put you at a year. 2 times a week, 2 to 3 years. 1 time a week, 4 years white belt to blue belt. So if you can train more, that's going to help you progress through those belts. Let's see. Chris the Beard, he said, "Alec, use your basic shooting video to teach my 11-year-old how to lower his level and shoot properly. Thanks, it helped a ton." Yeah. I learned that because I taught white belts. It's like, hey, these white belts getting injured, these white belts about to blow their knee out, trying to do a wrestling penetration shot. And so, yeah, that helped me come up with the video topic. So that's basically it, guys. I think I'm going to call it a night. Hope you enjoyed this live stream. I tried to zoom through it. But for next one, I'll try to maybe have a shorter presentation and get people on there, get people on the Zoom chat, because that's what I'm more excited for, is to talk to you guys. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you again. Thanks for your support. And until next time, peace out, guys. Peace, peace, peace. And ciao.